All right, morning, Justin. Make sure I'm actually live. All right, looks like I'm live. What's up, guys? Man, YouTube's a pain in the ass. I gotta tell you, it's weird. Morning, everyone. Welcome to the really big show. So, pretty stable this morning, up a little bit, about 1.5%. Yeah, welcome to Monday. Not much different from Friday. Not too bad. Morning, Aram. So doing pretty good here. Even with all the news, though, shutdown going till April 30th. President was talking about that yesterday. Whatever that means. I actually don't quite know what that means. Because Home Depot... I was going to go to Home Depot yesterday. And I was driving around, and it was pretty damn packed. So I didn't go in. So I actually went to a local woodworking store called Rockler, which is a little bit further away. It had like 2 people in it, so I went in there and did my good social distancing thing. My youngest son, James, got sick yesterday. Low-grade fever, about 100.7. So we'll see how that goes over the next couple of days. We've been fighting the flu since November of last year, which is like almost 6 months now. So hopefully it's just the flu, and he'll get over it today. That's been the history. And then if I get it, it'll last about 12 hours. So we'll see about streams for the next little bit. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to get any of you guys sick. That's fine. Even if he's got COVID, he'll be okay. We just have to really hunker down now. That's the bad part. So if I do got to go out and get something, I'm probably going to be a weirdo with a handkerchief on his face so I don't get other people sick. That's true, Eli. You were the last one to see me alive. That's true. Have solace in that. All right, let me bring up Thinkorswim. I'm trying to start YouTube for 10 minutes. It's fine, Aram. It's just a flu. I just got to be more careful about it. About getting other people. Usually when the flu's around, which, like I said, we've been pretty familiar with this year. Let me see a second. Fun with passwords. Anyone holding crypto at the moment? Good question. Crypto's having a good day. Bitcoin's having a good day. I think it's risk back on. We're up here at 63. So yeah, crypto's not doing too bad. Which is, I think crypto's good. Crypto's in a good spot right now. I'm not too mad at crypto, to be honest with you. Not at all. Let's take a look at our... Man, my laptop's going crazy. Hopefully, I should have my computer going this week. I hope. I think I'm going to be missing one part, which is going to kind of piss me off. Yeah, I hope they're not part of the Fed bailout. Forget all those guys, to be honest with you. Pisses me off. Royal Caribbean. Yeah, see, these guys, they're not U.S. companies, so fuck them. In all honesty, if you don't want to pay U.S. taxes, you don't get U.S. free printed money. You got to bail yourself out, or give them 10% terms and let them deal with it. All right, so we're loosely up at this stage of the game. The Nasdaq on the daily time frame. Talked about a follow-through day and how we're slowly primed for a follow-through day. Let's take a look at. Do you know they started the printer? They're like, yes, Dad, we know how to start the printer. They put a mask on Benjamin Franklin from the $100 bill. That's fantastic. Whatever you've done wrong in your life, IBD, you've almost made up for it with that one little meme-looking thing there. So future still above average volume, not primed for a follow-through day, but obviously it can happen. This is the Nasdaq. We looked at this the other day. If you look at the S&P, I think we have basically the same thing. Volume was barely above average on Friday. So remember I mentioned, was talking about last week, we can come up here and go sideways for a bit, be primed for going higher. So far, that's what we have on this particular chart. S&P is a little bit more sideways than the Nasdaq. Wait, or is it the Nasdaq's a little bit more sideways than the S&P? No, S&P here, a little more sideways. Talk about an inside day. That one's looks like the high. There we go, high 1591. Oh, it is an inside day. The highs are exactly the same. The lows are what? Wow. The highs and the lows are exactly the same. Somebody run an algorithm. I'm not sure if that's ever happened before. The close is slightly different. That's crazy. All right, so S&P, the same. So now here we are looking for potential follow-through days, and we'll go ahead and see what happens. UAL down 14% today. Maybe they didn't get as good a bailout as they thought. Tesla down at 500. Dow Jones. Oxy down 7. Looking for bigger movers. VIX only down 3. That's not bad. Play down 11. That's not good. So it looks like they're maybe taking risk off the table. Just saying. Maybe they're still taking some risk off the table. Apple up, Microsoft up, Amazon slightly up, yawning up, and Adobe up. TQ's up. Royal Caribbean, so Boeing down 10. We were down 10 the other day, I thought. If you remember, I mentioned the other day about follow-through days and all that. Aram, it's the Thinkorswim platform. This is TradingView, but when I have this up, this is called Thinkorswim. It's pretty good. It's one of the better ones. The E-Trade one sucks. This is this has way too many features for any one person. Morning and nil. The hell was I going to talk about? I forgot. The link. Oh, this is just Ameritrade, Aram. So you just go to tdameritrade.com, and then it's a separate platform inside of TD Ameritrade called Thinkorswim. There's no real link I can send you. Ooh, Tesla 493. Nothing too crazy yet. This is more of a normal stock day. Stock day, just slightly elevated highs and slightly elevated lows, mind you. Actually looks pretty normal, minus this whole double-digit large thing. Boeing. Looks like the airlines aren't doing so hot. I wonder what they don't like about the deal here. Oh, probably the extension of the April 30th. So airlines out for a whole other month. That may be what it is. So UAL's not going to furlough. It's going to do pay cuts instead. American to park 80% of its domestic by Monday. Stop showing me previews of everything. I just want to read articles. Don't expect demand to snap back for some time. UAL. Tired this morning. Sorry, guys. Hard to fight tired and yawning. Casey, are you here? You're holding UAL until 4, right? I thought it was 40, but maybe it's 4. I just want to double check. Is that Skyworks, Rob? No, SKWK. I think that's something different. Yeah, maybe you mean Skyworks. That's SWKS. That's not down. SKWK wasn't anything. Can you trade futures or just stocks and they have stop loss and take profit at the same time? I'm using Robinhood. I've never traded with Robinhood, but from my understanding, they're the most limited trading platform you can do. There's actually no reason to use Robinhood anymore, unfortunately, for Robinhood. All the other brokers have gone commissionless, so you can trade on Thinkorswim just as free as you can with Robinhood. It does trade futures, can do stop loss. I'm not sure about stop loss and take profits, to be honest with you, because I don't trade in the platform anymore. But yeah, I mean, it should be free to open an account, so just download it and check it out. But like, I don't know if you can do that, take profit and stop loss. Maybe that's one good thing Robin has over the others. Or trade triggers if it ever opens. SKYW down 12%. Okay. Well, that's on the larger side of things. It looks like what we're seeing with the transportation sector. Speaking of which, let's look at TRAN, which is the NASDAQ Transportation Index, which we were hoping for a breakout early last year until the mildly bad flu decided to infect everyone on the planet and shut it all down. Now we're back down here at 2016 levels. So, yeah, still good opportunities. NASDAQ not doing bad, 1.2% up, at least on the future side of things. If we check out the Qs, it's going to be 0.84% up. So we'll see what happens. The future's looking okay. Again, we talked about going sideways would be good. Nibbling down here, never go in full position. We still don't have a follow-through day, so we're not safe. Nor does a follow-through day make us safe. Traditionally, a follow-through day is preceded with ideally preceded with leading stocks having really good days. We don't have that so far, unfortunately. I don't think we have a lot of really good days on some stocks. So check out the global watch list and see what's up. Like oil having good days. HCC, I believe that's an oil. Oh, it's coal. Close enough. AMN. Healthcare getting a buoy somehow. Procter & Gamble. FIVN right back to highs. Look, that's a cloud name. Look at that. That's the all-time high. And we're right within striking distance. Like this is just a correction in FIVN locally. That's pretty amazing. Maybe they're doing something with they're giving something to, they're used for something. I don't know. Wow, no news articles. Crazy. But right back at it. They like this name. Look at that. So that appears to be a very good name right there. FIV and AMN. Lower. Procter and Gamble under 100 shortly. Right back at it. Eli Lilly also right back at it. Maybe they're getting some federal government money to do stuff. Who knows? Some biotechs up here in the greens. Fortinet, another network manufacturer. They do firewalls. Probably some other things that I'm not aware of, but I'm aware of their firewalls. Looking pretty good down here on the daily chart. We've got pretty good volumes. Of course, there's good volumes everywhere. Yeah, someone mentioned WTI. Let's see what that is. WT offshore. WTI. Trying to break 20. I don't see that in IL. I see WTI at 1. US oil. That's USO. And that's also not breaking. Oh, you mean the actual... Oh, actual crude. To the downside. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I think of everything in terms of stock symbols. So, going down to 20. And then were you the one with that position? Holy but Jesus. 20 down 6%. Look like I said it looked like it was caving, and it looks like the charts don't lie. I don't know, man. That is stupid cheap. I mean, at what point do you say, you know what, everyone just go buy a Tesla? Tesla has to produce 300 million cars in the next 30 days because that's how much oil we have left. Like, we can't even produce oil for $10 a barrel. Of course, the U.S. will step in and just pay for the difference. So get ready for that, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for them paying everything for you. I don't think we have to work anymore, guys. The U.S. is just going to print money for us. That's the way it's going. Hey, guys, hold on a minute. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Ram's got a question. Heard the situation. It's going to get worse and worse, and I'm worrying to buy something at the market. My opinion, we are in the beginning. What's your opinion? I'm of two opinions. Sorry, Aram. I'm of two opinions, and one of them is that the shutdown to April 30th. I actually like that. I like that move. I think it does show a little bit of foresight that Trump's actually taking it seriously instead of using as a pawn, which I don't think initially he didn't take it seriously, as we're aware, but now he is taking it seriously, and I think that's really good. I think that my glass broken. My fucking glass is broken. How the hell? Okay, broke a glass. So that's good from this, but more importantly for our conversation is about stocks, right? We're here because we're concerned about the stock market. We want to perform well in the markets, make sure our money grows in a somewhat aggressive yet somewhat safe manner, if those two things can coexist. The stock market bottoms well before the general economy does. It usually goes down before the general economy, and it goes back up before the general economy goes back up. So from that perspective, and this being a very unique situation, and you have to keep in mind how unique this situation is. You've never seen a drop percentage-wise this deep, which percents are what matter. The actual, if you see the headlines, Dow drops 2,000 points, that doesn't mean anything. If the Dow's at 100,000, that's a 2% day. So it really doesn't mean anything, in my opinion. What matters is percentages, and percentage-wise, we've never had this big of a drop. Let's go back here to this bigger, broader chart here. Okay, so yeah, we've never had this big of a drop, and especially in some of these sectors. Now, that being said, in a traditional recession, you don't quite. Sometimes you know what the ailment is, and sometimes the solution is just cutting some interest rates and avoiding the bad sectors and going cash for a while and then jumping back in. The In this particular situation, it's all dependent on the virus. It's all dependent on the virus. I believe the stock market has priced in a leg lower in the general economy and a bad leg lower, which is why it dropped so fast. It priced that in. And it didn't do it early, but it finally did it in time. Now, that being said, if this is a generally if this is done after April 30th, because right now they're not really concerned about April 30th. The market's basically flat. So the market's showing you they're not too concerned. We didn't have a 7% limit gap down. Okay? Institutions do those types of things. We can't do those types of things. If I told everyone in here to sell right now, you wouldn't see the market move at all. That liquidity would be eaten up by each of your brokerages, and it wouldn't even probably hit the market. The fact that we're not seeing that limit down type of behavior, in my opinion, is encouraging for the market. So, like I said, I think nibbling at positions down here is okay. But again, you may have to hold through a leg lower. You may have to hold that position through a leg lower, or if you're going to have a stop loss, you can do that. Now, what do I mean? What do I mean positions? For me, that means like just the TQQQ, which is the one that I'm traditionally in and in for this whole thing. I also bought some Tesla because I'm a longer term believer in Tesla, and I have a couple of smaller plays with some individual names like this EXIV and Play. And Play is kind of taken on the chin for me today, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm a believer of having a little bit exposure. Look, we've come down a significant amount. We've come down 30%. There hasn't been too many corrections that have gone down 30%. We're now down 20%. So I don't think that it's horrible to get involved in much longer term positions. If you're trading, I think you're trading, taking it day by day, to be honest with you. But if you're thinking longer term positions out past 12 months, I think you're in okay buy range. I think the virus, even in a bad scenario, will be down here for probably 2-3 more months. We'll be down for 2-3 more months, and then I think we'll start to go back up. So could we have a leg lower? Yes. But say you bought here, say you bought some up here, and you bought some down here when we started talking about adding, and then we go lower. Let's say we do go lower. Let's say we're here, and then we come up here, and then we go lower, and then we bounce up, then we go lower. We'll probably have a quick reaction and then start going higher, like this. So buying here, maybe buying here, and then you get a follow through day here. Your average is going to be here, where we started buying. So, James is up, my youngest son, who's sick right now. So that would take us down 40%. Well, down here. That takes down about 38%, if that's the future. If we get another leg, and this is out to May, so we could stay up here for a while and then hang out. So hold on a second. I'm going to go check on my kid. All right, I'm back. Excuse me. So Aram, yeah, you said you're thinking long term. Justin, dollar cost averaging into high quality companies for the long term. Yeah, I mean, so look, long term, I think we're okay. If you're looking at trading profits in the shorter term, then I do think you have to take the signals as you're given. But the signals we're being given right now are pretty neutral in both directions. To be honest with you, we have a nice little gap here. I think it was last Tuesday. Yeah, it looks like last Tuesday. And then just a nice little rally, but our volume's a little bit more diminished. Now, as we mentioned last week, you can rally on diminished volume in the indexes. Individual names, that's much harder to do, but on the indexes, you rally on lower volume, is what I've seen. So I'm not massively concerned right here. Again, I think we're down most of the way. I don't think we double this drop. I think that's kind of the general sense of it. So here's your next leg lower. And look, maybe we do have another 20% from here to drop. So buying in here, like if you get in the SQQQ, that's going to be difficult. Or I'm sorry, the TQQQ. Another drop would be difficult because that would cut you down. If you get a 20% drop from here, that'd be akin to a 60% drop on that asset. So maybe if this rolls over, maybe you do cut a little bit. But also keep in mind, you'll be coming back also. Keep in mind, at some point we will be coming back. If you're of the opinion we don't come back, then just stop watching the show and go hunker down in a bunker and learn to plant corn, because society will be abated at that stage. Yeah, if the used stock market just drops and goes into nothingness, the whole global economy is fucked. So, but yeah, so dollar costing averaging into high quality companies, I think that's fine as well. Like the really, really beaten down ones, I think we've already seen the bottom in some of them. Like I think Visa may have already bottomed. You've got a big volume candle down here, and it's already up 20%. So it's it's kind of in a middle range right now. I guess not a middle range. It's up about a third. United Airlines, in time will be a good buy. I mean down here it probably is a good buy around 20. Again, long-term holds. These aren't short-term holds. These are longer-term holds. Now, if you want to sidestep these all together, the individual names, I am not mad at that at all. When I talk about buying, I'm talking about the NASDAQ indexes. I'm not referring to individual names. But if you do want to buy individual names, you may have to hold for longer periods of time. The market can be finicky about what they bring back and when. That's one thing I've noticed, is that the market, think about it this way. Let's say you have a bunch of employees, right? Let's say you have a business. Let's say you have a business and you have a bunch of employees and you're forced to lay them all off, which is akin to institutions liquidating positions. Let's say you're forced to lay off all of your employees, and then it comes back time to rehire. Like, okay, cool, business is coming back, I got to rehire. You're going to hire your best employees first and your worst employees last. And your worst employees you may not even hire back. You may just let them go all together and just part ways. You're like, I was going to fire Eli anyways, screw that guy. Him and his weird ass sense of humor. I'm going to hire Aram instead. He seems like a nice dude. So you're going to short Eli and go long Aram, which sounds prudent, actually, to me. I may do that anyways. Sorry, you were just the last guy in the chat. I wasn't trying to pick on you individually. But anyway, yeah, so the same goes with stocks. It may end up being the same way with some individual names. Now, maybe for whatever reason, they don't want to bring Apple back. I find that highly unlikely, especially due to the situation. It's a correction due to a known force. It's not a correction due to an unknown force. By credit card companies, I bet they are getting racked up right now with all the toilet paper buys. Yeah, maybe. AXN, I think, is American Express. No. AXP. There it is. A company like American Express, it's twofold. Number one, it's going to be hit with a lot of delinquencies and defaults at this stage of the game. Now, looks like they've already had their watershed moment down here. So this is a dead cat bounce for American Express. This is really bad. So I'm kind of viewing this as a bottom for a lot of companies, to be honest with you, since we've already had significant rises to the upside. If we get, if we do actually have another leg lower, if this is our middle bounce, it's going to be fairly brutal. I don't know if that's the case. I guess I'd have to go back and do a lot more research. Shorted Tesla for a hedge, Julius? Well, I look forward to you covering your position. Eli actually had a point earlier. Something about, about Tesla. Don't you think that gas prices will play against it? No, I don't. You don't buy Tesla because of gas prices. You buy Tesla because it's a badass car, because you're basically driving your smartphone, and because it's badass. There are some people that just buy Tesla strictly for the oil thing, but in all honesty, oil hasn't come down that much. Gas prices in Arizona. So you look at it. Oh, is this a whole thing? Oh, is gas really $2? Okay, that is actually cheap. That's super cheap. We were $3 not too long ago. Okay, so at least gas is coming down with oil. That's at least good to know. Hey, those of you in California, look, $2 gas. That's funny. Yeah, $2 isn't bad. How does Scottsdale get $2 gas? Screw you guys. You guys are rich. You guys deserve $4 gas. Like, Scottsdale's pretty damn rich, to be honest with you. They're pretty rich. 275. Where's my house at? There's a 17. Okay, so I'm here. I'm in 239 gas. Why am I in 239 gas area? Looks like I need to go down here. Screw you and your gas prices. Well, how is... Oh, this is North Scottsdale. How was North Scottsdale at $1.80 to $2? What is up with that? So this is Arizona. For those of you that don't know Arizona, and this doesn't show it very well because there's a lot of color here, this is the rich part of town right here. And actually right here. Oh, so I guess it is a little bit higher in there. That makes sense. And this is really rich actually right here. So that's pretty interesting. But that's actually pretty close to my house for the cheap gas. I might have to drive down to the hood here. Where's that? 199. Where's that? See, that's way cheaper. Costco. Oh. I don't know if I have a Costco membership, but that's pretty good. Seriously, from 279 to 199. Wow. 199 down here off Indian School. That's kind of in the hood, not in a good hood. Just industrial hood. Just industrial part of town. So if you live there, it's not very fun. Wow. There's a big difference in some of these names. 249. That's pretty close. 249. That's not too bad. 239 over here. Anyway. So yeah, I guess it's not quite down 30% unless I choose to go to Costco. So we'll see, but it's still not necessarily you don't buy a Tesla due to gas prices. You buy a Tesla because it's badass, and because you believe in Elon's mission, not because of gas prices. And they're selling out of them. It's pretty dope. Electric scooters down the San Francisco slopes. Well, that's when you do the charging, Eli. You hit the charging button and it stops you, and then you just kind of go down there. All right, Zoom up another 6%. All right, going into highs. There's always a bull market somewhere. Apparently, it's in video conferencing. United Airlines down 12%. Microsoft up 5%. That's a significant rise for Microsoft. Looks like they're back to buying those high-ish quality companies. Microsoft over Apple apparently right now. ServiceNow is up almost 5%. Kind of coming out of this low consolidation range, playing around the 200 daily moving average. This is a pretty high quality, newer cloud name. Look at the longer term moving average. It basically held it. We did test it, but you could argue ServiceNow was probably a good quality hold. Down, I don't know how much is down though. Only came down 30%, so this would be a traditional base. You could be buying the breakout of the long part of the base here. Long bikes, short cars. I don't want to ride a long bike, and I don't want to drive a short car. So you're wrong on both of those regards, Eli. I'd rather ride a big car and a small bike. I'll take one of each. Yeah, I live in Arizona. You've been to Arizona, Eli, now. You can't live out here without a car. It's too much space between stuff. Is it, Justin? World running low on condoms? Really? What? Oh, there will be a baby boom. Wow. Supply falls by almost 50%. Stockpile set to last for 2 months. Yeah, long Pampers. Malaysia-based Carex. Wow. Gloves too. Interesting. Interesting. Well, Justin, don't give them away, dude. They're worth like, $150 for that box here pretty soon. All right. So ServiceNow, Adobe also up 3.5%. Today could be one of those days where you kind of see what the market almost wants to buy. Las Vegas Sands over Wynn, apparently, at least right now. It's just minor. It's minor. Royal Caribbean down 14%, not very good right there. That could take another leg lower. You could have some individual individual names here. Crater, I think, the ones that are really affected. Royal Caribbean, that may just get decimated just due to all kinds of stuff. Look at that high volume there with that topping candle right there. Look at that. Not quite a doji, but very high volume up there. So that could be a bounce for another leg lower for Royal Caribbean. I wouldn't doubt that. I think it's going to take a while for cruise lines to get back to normal. Again, floating petri dishes and all that. You saw all the news articles about cruise ships and coronavirus, so that's not going to go away real quickly. United Airlines, again, you didn't have news stories about UAL and people being trapped in the fuselage of a plane for very long. But so they'll come back quicker, I think. I don't know about when, though. Tesla back at $500. It has that Qs. Yeah, they like it. Microsoft, ServiceNow. What other ones? Here, it's like headphones are getting a bounce back, I guess. I don't know. That hasn't been in play for a long time. GNC looks like it's probably a dead cat bounce. There's no virus in India if you don't have tests. Think smart. Absolutely. It's like you can't have kids with no condoms, right? What? I don't want to get pregnant. Bam. Did I buy UAL? No. I'm not buying UAL. Hell no. No, I'm not playing that way, Aram, to be honest with you. I'm going to play TQQQ and some individual names, but mainly the TQQQ coming back, I think. Unless I see something that is really, really good. LVGO looks like running right now fairly significantly for whatever reason. Looks like this was a recent IPO, and we actually kept the lows of 2019. Yeah, we've stayed up above those lows. I don't know much about LVGO. I don't know much about it at all. We can go back to FinViz and look it up. Medical appliances and equipment. Yeah, Microsoft looks great. Yeah, so interesting name here. Looks like this one's identified a trend line. Looks pretty good. Sometimes UCO become a flyer, 3 times oil bull? Good question. Let's look. My argument would be yes. The question is when, because right now it's cratering into the dirt. Anil. Yeah, that looks like that would be at some point. It's good. It may be a gap situation like this one, Anil. To be honest with you, strictly because this is being driven by Saudi Arabia and their whatever they're doing. I don't know exactly all the steps they're taking, but super. Look at that, 1991. That is About GM, you cannot pay me to own GM around personally, and I will tell you where that comes into play. That comes into play because I am a massive believer in Tesla, like massive. I personally believe in 10 years Tesla. Like, what's Tesla's market share? Let's put out some good numbers. Tesla market share of U.S. vehicles sold. See if we can get that. See, not electric vehicles, but vehicles. I think Tesla will make up a substantial portion of the United States vehicle market. Substantial. So it's at 1.29% right now. I'm going to guess 10%. I'm really going to think about 10% in 10 years, something like that. I don't have an exact number, but I mean substantial, and that's going to come at the expense of GM likely. Yeah. How to trigger Randy 101. There's other ways to trigger me too, but that's one of them. But yeah, seriously, like in all honesty, I think in 10 years you're going to see Tesla with probably a 10% market share. That means they have 10x growth ahead. And it's going to come at the expense of GM. It's going to come at the expense of Ford. It's going to come at the expense of Toyota. They are making masks, Rob. You're right. Never mind. Buy GM. They're making masks. Super high margin item. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be fantastic. They have a lot of work to do. That's why I give them a 10-year time horizon, because they can't just ramp up in one factory. They got to build gigafactories. They got to build at least 2 or 3 more in the U.S. and probably 5 or more globally before they do that. Now, if you talk about world sales, I don't know what it is, but it's going to be like, I don't know what the percentages are. But if this is the true percentage, if they're at 1.29, they're going to make 10 times the amount of automobiles. And I mean, not only that, keep in mind they're just pausing production of the Model Y, which by all accounts is going to be more popular than any of the other Teslas, because it's a small SUV that's relatively affordable. I say relatively affordable, but yeah. So that's what I think about it. So I would not buy. You couldn't pay me to buy GM, Ford. Look, if I see a good trade setup, I'll trade anything for a little bit. Wait a minute, I thought that was FinViz. It's not FinViz. I will disown each and every one of you, Eli. So let's look at GM on the monthly. I'll disown you too. It's okay. So look at GM on the monthly. I mean, it hasn't done anything in going back to 2014 to 2019. That's like 5-year period where GM does nothing. I don't want to own that. regardless of anything, I don't want to own that. Let alone them losing market share to Tesla. And then you've got Ford, which is doing worse from 16 down into 10. So Ford is doing worse. There's no way, shape, or form I'm buying Ford or GM. TM, yeah, there we go. Forgot about that. TM is Toyota. Again, not doing very much. These aren't growth companies, right? And then you have our buddy Tesla, which is in the complete opposite trajectory, coming from nothing to taking over the world. So, yeah. Unless you're really, really into dividends and declining stock prices, I would much rather have a rising stock than a dividend. Daimler, true. They suck too, though. Oh, there's Fiat Chrysler, which probably sucks too. Oh, they were doing okay. It actually went up significantly right there. That's pretty interesting. And then, yeah, Daimler, Mercedes. Daimler's not coming up. What about NIO? I can't, no. Why would you? I don't know. No. Why would you? I don't know. No. I don't know. Probably not. No. Maybe no. And no. Probably not. I don't know enough about them to be honest with you. Like I hear a lot about them. I guess they're fairly popular, but this stock chart is telling of a story, and it tanked well before the coronavirus came into play. So maybe someday. All I know is in terms of longer term holds, I think Tesla's probably one of the best stocks you can have. You're gonna look back in 10 years, and the same way you look back Amazon 10 years ago, you're like, I knew Amazon was taking over the world. Why didn't I buy it? And then I don't know. It's pretty much been that way with Amazon and Apple, and I'm not a buy and holder, to be honest with you. It's something I struggle with. But I think I'm going to do it with Tesla. I think I'm old enough to, I guess, finally put some toys away. And, yeah, Tesla's one of those companies. I mean, look, it just had a big-ass run up to 1,000 from 200 in a number of months. And a spectacular run. It's got more behind it. It's got a couple of kinks to work out. It's not a perfect company. It definitely has some things to work out, but it's going to get there. Elon's always going to get there. I don't know, Ram. I'm not projecting that far. I don't have a good method of projecting, but I do think that it'll be multiple thousands of dollars. Amazon's good too, Eli, but they don't make cars. I thought we were talking about vehicle manufacturers. This is a great chart right here, by the way. Amazon's going to go to 5K. Think about it. With the Fed printing another $2 trillion, all that market's going to eventually go back into the stock market. And a lot of it will go into Amazon. So these will all start rallying. All these big mega corporations and the high growth companies is pretty much where your money's going to be sitting at. So I don't mind Amazon either. Amazon is good. I think Apple's probably good. Microsoft's good. Yeah, we'll see. Julius going to buy Tesla at 300. I'm not sure you're going to see that price again, Julius. They might. See, there's a thing, might. I don't know if they're going to start making their own trucks. I mean, I know they do a lot of stuff, but that's a big one. Anil, now's as good as ever? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, I would argue now is probably would have been better a couple of weeks ago when we were down here in the $1,700 range. But again, this is that nice sideways action I was talking about. This is pretty constructive. If you do like Amazon for longer term, again, the main thing to trading is to be true to your trading strategy, whatever it is. I'm not here to steer you towards one strategy or another. I'll tell you guys what I do, what I like. I'm familiar with other trading strategies. I try to be very educated on a lot of different strategies. so I can, give you some advice from that perspective. But just be true to your strategy. I mean, look, if you want to buy Amazon for the next 5 years, that's fine. Amazon is been a leader, is going to be a leader, and no one is going to knock it off its perch. It's a monolith at this stage of the game. So Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, Visa, MasterCard, all these things that have monopolies in their industries are good buys when you have these big events. But the problem is everyone thinks they always like Tesla. Like right there, we just had Julia say, I'm going to buy Tesla at 300. What was wrong with 400? You just were at 1,000. Why 300? The market gave you 400, and it was already super far down. I bought Tesla down here. My wife didn't because she's my wife. But anyway, I bought Tesla down here because I do think this is a great longer-term company. I'm going to hold that position for a while, unless something extravagant happens. But I mean, all these big monolithic companies, they're going to come back. All the money goes back to Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, in time Tesla. What's wrong buying Tesla cars? So anyway, but that's my perspective. Obviously, it's good to have different perspectives. And it says Walmart's at all-time highs, dude. Well, I thought it was. Oh, it was a week or so ago. Look at that, crazy. Walmart was up at highs, and then looks like we're back down here. Walmart's interesting though. I'm not mad at Walmart, but I don't know where the growth is coming from. To be honest with you, they've owned the American economy in terms of retail for years. They haven't necessarily participated. You look at Amazon's growth versus, so here's Walmart going from 60 to 120. So this thing doubled in 8 years. See what Amazon did. I don't even know what that number is. It's so far down here on the scale. Like $50 to 2,000 in the same time frame. Walmart's missed out on so much opportunity. When you think of bigger picture macro stuff, I mean, look, it's a pretty safe business. It's not going to crater into the dirt, but it's not going to get you rich. Oh, Walmart as a competitor? No, not really. It does okay. Apparently they're doing really good in grocery, but in terms of general online sales, they're not doing nearly as good as Amazon. I don't think they're doing half the job that Amazon's doing. Not to mention, I mean, Walmart is where Amazon was like back in 2006. They just don't even compete really. They don't even compete really. Chips, yeah, I don't know. We can look at. Actually, let's go back to the market. Oh, we're up 2.38% right now. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's look at Intel. Oh, NVIDIA, AMD. So a lot of these already had their big pull to the downside. See how far back they've already come? The market has taken a lot of that opportunity off the table, unfortunately, for a lot of these names. We may see some conciliatory moves to the downside, maybe a bear trap in some of these names, but there's another reason why I kind of think the market is at a good kind of a good spot, because the market's assimilating all this data, and they're not selling the market off. Nvidia's up, AMD doing pretty good. I just bought an AMD processor for my computer. I'll let you know if it's garbage or not, but it's pretty good. You have an NVIDIA Shield? Oh, I bought, which one did I buy? Not the Shield. Oh, it's NVIDIA 1660 Super is what I ended up buying. Let me know your thought on it, Neil, if you've got... What? That's probably the wrong account. Anyway. I hate passwords. Anyway, yeah, I bought an NVIDIA GPU. We'll see how it goes. So, but yeah, AMD looking okay. I mean, it's already bounced back. Look at that, right off the 200 weekly moving, or that's the 50 weekly. There's the 200 day right there. You're gonna get virtual reality. I don't think your wife likes you that much, Eli. She's like, you know what, Eli? If we're gonna be trapped together, I think we should do virtual reality. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just do virtual reality so I don't have to sit and be with you this whole time. I like it. Your wife's smart, Eli. Your wife's smart. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of content for the VR stuff yet. Actually, they're on. I was looking. I think it was it Hulu or Netflix. They did I think it was Hulu. I think it's Hulu. Um, it's actually really good. It's a bunch of short clips on some science stuff. Hulu shows. I'm not sure if you can search Hulu shows. It was put on by Wired. Obsessed. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, watch Obsessed Wired streaming on Hulu. This is pretty good if you guys do have Hulu. Obsessed. It's a bunch of short. It's a bunch of shorts. This dude built. It's pretty crazy, and they do have something in here. Um, the hell were we just talking about? Oh, virtual reality. Oh, that's not it. Oh, I must have been auto played into a whole different series of shows. This is good too, though. This is good too, though. Anyway, I'm not sure what it was, but they talked about the CTO for Oculus. He was talking about virtual reality and stuff like that. It's pretty amazing. All right, let's see what's going on. GNC up 21%. So GNC, a retailer that used to rule. Look, I mean, they were really, really, and they just, I don't know what happened to them, but $60. Look at them back at like 50 cents. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a good buy down here. It's so cheap, but I mean, it's kind of a gamble if you ask me. It's a weird one. You have to go really far out. They used to be all over the place, Rob. I don't know what happened. I don't really care that much to find out. Carvana lower, Take Two Interactive. Zoom obviously doing pretty good. DocuSign looks like coming back pretty good. Yeah, they should be a nice beneficiary. Nice declining trend line. Looks like a double bottom base here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Looks like a fairly traditional base. So your buy point here is about the 91.20 level. The mid peak here for DocuSign. This is a very traditional double bottom base. That's your buy point. The high there is 96. So 90.83 is your buy point. Disney. Yeah, we can look at Disney. Whoa, holy bejesus. Wow, that's a drop. They do have Disney Plus. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's hard. Again, I mean, I don't know. This is just me doing quick mind experiments. It isn't me doing deep analysis. Definitely keep that in mind. But these big companies, I mean, Disney's doing good with the pivot into digital. They've consolidated a lot of assets, like you just mentioned, Marvel, Pixar, Star Wars, and all that. They've consolidated that. They do have Disney Plus, but you can argue that Disney Plus is just gaining back some market share that they've already lost to Netflix and stuff like that. So I don't know where the big growth in Disney is coming from. Now, yeah, I mean, this looks pretty good down here at 95. We're at prices we haven't seen for a couple of years now, but I mean, how long is it going to take to get you 40, 50%? I'm not sure if that's something as a more active investor slash trader that I necessarily want to pull triggers on. I mean, if you're lucky, we'll get a quick bounce back and you'll get 20, 30% pretty quick. But remember back before the coronavirus hit, we were struggling to get over. This was the Disney Plus announcement here. And then the Disney Plus launch, I think, was over here. And we didn't really go anywhere because of it. So I don't know if, yeah, Disneyland's, that's true, Eli. I don't know how much Disneyland's come into their revenue stream in terms of a percentage. So, like I said, you may get a bounce back here for 20, 30, 40%, but then at that stage of the game, it's going to roll off again. And yeah, not to mention, Eli says he may expect them to crash hard. Maybe they're not a benefit because they're not going to get a bailout. So maybe they're not a beneficiary of this extended pandemic thing. So it may not come back as well. Again, that's for me personally. I look at the indexes and I see opportunity when I see like I mentioned earlier, when I see 160% in the TQs going back to highs, I'm game, right? You got 100 back to all-time highs, 157% from here on the indexes to all-time highs. That's okay for me. I mean, even if we stay down here for a couple of years, I'm still down for 160% in 2 years. That's not a bad return right there. So, and this is the whole Nasdaq. This isn't an individual name that can really get hurt. You can have confidence in staying in a name like this. Now, it doesn't mean we can't go lower. Obviously, we mentioned legs. Now, and that would really hurt the TQQQ significantly. So this isn't necessarily, set it and forget it, unless you have, like I mentioned, really small amounts of money on the line, which I do right now. I have small buys down here. I haven't really layered in yet. We don't have a follow-through day yet. So, yeah, Netflix. So it looks like, yeah, they bounced back pretty quickly. You can see here, so they came down about 26%, and now they're only down 5%. So they've already bounced back significantly. Really, Justin? Most for merchandise? That's interesting. Yeah, we don't buy a lot of toys with our kids. They're not really toy kids. I mean, don't get me wrong, they got toys, but I don't know. I would really, Wall Street's kind of showing you a little bit with Disney right here that they're, it's normal, but it's not as good. We're not holding as sideways, so hard to say exactly. Yes, go long adult toys. Maybe Disney will start that. Maybe Disney should buy Playboy. We'll be good to go. Good to go. What? No, just I want you to close more. I don't need that much. I don't need that much room here, people. Maybe that'll let me close the gap. Nope. Looks like that's as far as it'll let me go. Okay. GE chart? Yeah, let's look at GE. Have a look at that in a minute. GE was doing okay. It looked like it was trying to start to bounce back, as a matter of fact. Okay, I got to get this stupid thing off my... Okay, where's my settings? I forgot how to use Thinkorswim. I need to get rid of this excess space. Giving my kid $100 and pick stocks at random and keep it for 10 years. No, I have not considered that. I don't think I will consider that. That seems... Well, first of all, 10 years is a really long time horizon for that payoff. My kid's going to be 18, and I'll be fighting with it other than looking at the Carvana stock he bought 10 years ago. Yeah, go for it. I don't know. It's not fun. Tell a 5-year-old he's got to wait 10 years for something. He doesn't even fathom that in his head. Yeah, it doesn't even. Yeah, he doesn't even understand the ramifications, let alone what a stock is or what all these companies even do. Like, try to explain what I don't know. I don't even know what LVGO does. I mean, look, my kids do have a Roth IRA, and I do invest for them. I employ my TQQQ strategy, in that. And so, yeah, I don't trade individual names or options in their account. It's just TQQQ. That's it. So we did buy some positions for them down here, and we'll see what happens as we leg back up. All right, let's see what's lower today. Sorry, Ron, back to your question about GE. Yeah, I don't know. GE looked like they were doing okay, because actually, if you remember, we were trading GE here, and I had this crazy trade that I had for long, but I hedged with a short. My short ended up making me 10x as it cratered into here. I actually sold on that day. I think maybe it was before that day, but anyway, so I ended up making 10x on that trade. But then GE went on a nice run, actually almost hitting my target area here. It took another 4 months to do it, and then it cratered, making a new low again here with coronavirus. So I don't know. Again, I think GE could be a great turnaround play. You can have really good runs with turnaround companies, and GE could be primed for that. It is a really big institution. I can't imagine it completely going away. So at some point it may be good. There does appear to be some support at 6. I would agree with you, but it could be a short-term support. If you... Oh, here we go. Auto, there we go. It could end up... Yeah, it's not too bad, Aram. I guess if you wanted to take a smaller position... See, it's hard to know when they're going to turn around, though. So they were doing pretty good. Maybe they'll come back and this will be an epic buy. I really got no idea. But, again, individual names are going to be very risky. I think you should really understand what you're investing in. You should look into the name, understand what drives their earnings, because in the end, earnings are what drives stock prices. And so you can have some confidence in your investments rather than just thinking there's support or picking an arbitrary price level for a multi-year hold. Now, I keep coming back to Tesla because that's like the one for me, just because the growth is there, obviously. It's kind of an obvious... for me, it's pretty obvious. You guys have heard me ramp about it, but like a GE, not so obvious. I don't know what drives GE. I really have no idea, because they make everything. They probably made 10% of the things in this room. They probably, I don't know, they probably made this plastic cup. They make all kinds of crazy shit. So, it's going to be hard to know what drives their earnings, but could be good, yes. Support at 6. Right now there's support at 6. I can't say it's not going to falter. If it looks good and you can get it back to 6, that maybe you can get it lower, but... Yeah, see, that's the thing, though. Eli says GE will rise in medical equipment, but then Julius made a good point. GE makes those stuff that gains and losses average out. So, yeah, they'll do good in this industry and bad in this industry. Good in this industry, bad in this industry. At the end, you get nothing. At the end, there's no earnings. So, they have two... let's go to GE's website. It's crazy. GE businesses, additive, aviation, capital, digital, healthcare, lighting, power, renewable energy. Like, come on. What do you make? I make wind turbines, and I give loans. And I build MRI machines. I'm not sure what GE Digital is. Let's look at GE Additive. Amplifying additives potentials in orthopedics. That looks pretty cool. I don't know what that is, but it does look pretty dope. Look, GE does a lot of important work. Don't get me... I'm not mad at GE. I think they do a lot of good things. They do a lot of good things. But at the same time, they do a lot of things. From an investor's perspective, I think it's difficult for that to equal profit, because your management can't really focus. And that's the problem. Like GE lighting. Like, really? You make LED lights? Okay, that's great. I can't imagine there's a lot of money in LED in lights. But here you go. Like, what does lighting and aviation have in common? Not much. GE Digital. What's digital? Industrial plants. Okay. They call it digital for some reason, but they optimize industrial plants. It's like some type of Industrial automating. So it's just too much stuff. It's really hard to know utilities. I mean, it's really just too much. They're never going to be the GE of old, I don't think. It's going to take a gigantic shift in structure of the business for them to do that. But support a 6, sure. Yeah. I mean, could they turn it around? It's so beat up. 6 to 30 is a 5x. Could it happen? It could happen, but what caused the stall a couple of years ago? I would probably need to know more about this. I would need to know more about why GE dropped and the turnaround, but that's going to take you probably a month or two just to figure out what the hell you're looking at. All right, KHC. Oh, Kraft Heinz. It doesn't look like they have had a little bit of sell-off, but they've had sell-offs for a long time, so I can't say that's anything significant. Down at 20 from 100, looks like back in 2017. I don't know. Probably pay a good dividend. I think Warren Buffett may get involved in that. I think I've heard rumors of that. Of course, you hear rumors of Warren Buffett and everything. Probably has a good dividend. 6% dividend. But the stock's declined by 50%. So you can keep your 6% dividend. What about Uber? Well, it looks like they bottomed at 15. They're back up here at 27. Everything's got this same pattern to it right now for the most part. Some are a little bit weaker, some are a little bit stronger. Uber right there appears to be a little bit stronger. You see the good volume on the way back up here? That's not too bad. It's doing okay. I still rather have the NASDAQ. Out of everything that we've looked at, I want Tesla and the NASDAQ, and that's what I got. I've got Tesla and I've got the NASDAQ and a couple of short-term stuff. And ready to level back into both even if we go lower. So, NVIDIA breaking up. Got here on the 5-minute chart. NVIDIA is pretty close to highs up here. If you remember, before the crash, NVIDIA was actually starting to head back to highs, and then we have another romp back to 200. Now we're back up to 261. Yeah, it could be doing okay. Holding pretty strong right there. We'll see if we get some distribution up here or not. It's always tough at breakout points like this. This is a really small breakout point. You've got several days, and we've already backed away from the highs during those days, so a little bit hard to... You notice what's gone here, guys? You notice what's missing? We got GNC, LVGO here, Carvana, Restoration Hardware, INVA, DocuSign, ABC Lite, Take-Two Interactive, 5 Networks. There's no MJ names up here. MJ's gone. They're down at the bottom again. Look at that. I didn't even know that. I kind of figured it, though. If MJ's not at the top, they're at the bottom. Short covering, probably. Yeah, Piton. I was thinking about that. I looked at that like a week or two ago. Peloton probably could do very good in this environment. The problem would be shipping and actually getting their bikes out. But I don't know, like actual bikes, there's been a bull in actual bikes, at least in my neighborhood. Everyone's riding a freaking bike. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. Long bike, absolutely. Okay, I'm really feeling bad about myself. I don't know where oh, maybe it'll show itself up here. There it is. There's the gear. Because I have too much chat up here. That's what I want. Aha, that's what I was trying to get. I can't get it anywhere else, apparently. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, so, I'll probably just leave these open like this. That'll work. I spend most of my time on those weekly and daily charts anyways. I wonder if bike's a symbol. Bike is not a symbol. Okay, that's it. I'm going to take a bike company public and call it Bike. I don't understand. Maybe some of you younger gentlemen can explain. Why don't you fuckers ride bikes? Why do you all want to ride fucking scooters? Bikes are dope. Scooters suck. I'm just going to say it. Long bikes, short scooters. Everyone wants scooters. Is it too much to lift your leg over the seat of a bike? I think that's what it is. I have heard about Nikola. I think the name alone shows that it's stupid. You're not even original enough to come up with your own name. You gotta copy Elon's name. Easier to park a scooter? Times have changed. Times have changed. Bikes are so the past 100 years, 150 years. I don't know, scooters, they just suck, man. Now, I think some of the scooters with bigger wheels could be good, but I don't know. I don't know why scooters, they're probably easier to build. Bikes are probably still a little bit harder to build than scooters. That's probably why. But dude, I can go to Walmart and buy a bike for like $110. Yeah, motorcycles. Ooh, rocket skates. The Nil's onto something. Rocket is too many. ROKT is a stock symbol. Look at that. Look at that. I have no idea what they do. Oh, it's a spider. It's an ETF. Trust S&P Kensho Final ETF, whatever that means. Boeing down 10% today. Ooh. That's pretty shiny. Market up 3% today. Wow. Market's liking news. Market's liking the news today. We'll see what happens at the end of the day, but so far so good. So far so good for the general market. Where am I? Here? Nope. This FinViz screen. On to there. Microsoft 5.36%. UAL down 7. Tesla still actually a little bit above 500 right now. Lockdowns in Arizona? Not really. Our schools are closed. We have, like the big, most of the government stuff is closed. My local Home Depot is following CDC regulations about how many people can be involved in a store. All the stores that are open have like 6-foot tape lines everywhere, at least all the big stores. So like stay 6 feet away. The local convenience store Circle K, they have 6-foot grids in their store. Home Depot just has 6-foot lines all over the place. Electric scooters than electric bikes. Make up your minds, people. Do you want me to ride on my feet or ride on my butt? I don't know. My bike's pretty fun. Scooters, you can't go fast enough on a scooter. I mean, maybe that's why too. You don't go too fast on a scooter. But those things can fly if you put a motor on them. They can frickin' fly. I do like that. All right, TQQ up 7.7% today. But yeah, Royal Caribbean. Yeah, we do need hoverboards, Julius. I'm not gonna lie. We have to get them. Let's look at hoverboard technology. Oh, you know what? They're just gonna come up with those stupid actual what they call hoverboards, which aren't hoverboards. I want a real hoverboard. Those are pretty cool though. I will say that if you're gonna go if you need a hoverboard, that's probably as close as you're gonna get. Whoever developed that was pretty smart. Well, that was a Segway people, right? Yeah, see, you're not gonna get an actual hoverboard when all you gotta do is put a wheel in the middle of something. Yeah, that is as close as you're gonna get to a hoverboard. And see, I like the fact you can go on grass. I do like that. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm really not mad at that. That's the better alternative. Better than scooters. Better than the stupid scooters. Get one of those. Nearly killed yourself on a Segway? They can be dangerous. I actually bailed on a Segway at work. My boss bought a couple Segways and brought them to work, and I was flying. And what happened? I don't remember what happened. I don't remember. But anyway, I had a bail. I'm good at bailing, so I didn't get hurt at all. Everyone thought I was like hurt. I wasn't hurt. I'm good. I'm I'm the only, I won't say the only person, but I crashed on a motorcycle and didn't scratch. I scratched my belt buckle, and I scratched the side of my hip a little bit and my elbow a little bit, but my helmet was fine. Yeah, it's pretty famous for that for a while. Yeah, I agree with you. Eli. I would rather ride a bike, but if you, this is a good alternative for a hoverboard. Good alternative for a hoverboard. So, I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I don't know, Julius. I'm very, very self-aware. Like I don't get hurt. I very rarely actually get hurt, like injured. And I put myself in some weird ass situations. My wife gets injured walking around the damn house. She stubs her toes on stuff that's been there for 10 years. So I think what I've learned is my inability to get hurt comes from my ability to be self-aware. So I think I try to teach that to my kids, at least self-awareness is key. I mean, in reality, it really is key. It's yeah, not saying I'm Superman, but I'm pretty damn self-aware. Yeah, I've been in situations I should have been jacked up, but my I don't know why, man. I don't know. My brain's weird. It's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse. It's gotten me in good situations. It's gotten me out of bad situations and done me harm in some situations that it shouldn't have. We all have our, positives and negatives. Positive for me is I don't get hurt very easily. What is EXIV? Okay, so these right here are these three with these purple flags next to them are yeah, sleep driving. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I have an ability that can't make me any money. I'm a superhero. So these are around these purple ones. These are inverse volatility ETFs. Let me explain. If you're familiar with the VIX is the volatility of options prices. Ooh, real truck driver. Yeah, me and Ted should be bunkies. Get him into stocks like I got my pool guy into stocks. Okay, so this is the VIX. The VIX is a measure of volatility in the markets, and from my understanding, it's based on options premiums. So I'm going to go into some abstract stuff here, Rom. Please feel free to ask questions. I think I may bail after this. Is about 8 o'clock and get a little bit of rest in before my crypto power hour. So the volatility. So in other words, if things are really nice and not moving, not up very much, not down very much, everything's like up like 1% a day. This will be in these nice low areas right here. But the second we start jumping 5-10% in a day is when you get these big spikes in the VIX, implying that, okay, there's a lot of volatility in the market, options are getting more expensive. These are the inverse of this. So I'm going to click on this EXIV, and you're going to see it's going straight down. Okay, so if the VIX is going up, this is going down. Therefore, if we get less volatile, which at some point we will, this should go back up. So you'll end up with buys down here in the $7, and eventually you'll end up back here at $20-30 for EXIV. Now this particular volatility index, this is based off of the stocks 50, which it takes I think like the top 50 stocks in Europe or something like that. And that is what this ETF of FEZ is, stocks 50 right here. So that's what EXIV is. The SXVY and the ZIV, this is VIX short term, this is VIX medium term. I can't elaborate more than that. I don't know the time frame between short term, medium term, and why the difference is. This may be like a month out, this may be like 3 months out. I really have no idea. But, it just is what it is at this stage of the game. All right, guys. I think that's about it. Qs, do we stall a little bit? I don't think we stalled a little bit, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So like I said, starting at the show earlier with my cute little drawing here, Even if we take a leg lower, we may get a leg lower. I don't know if we're going to, dive into the dumps. There will be an end to COVID-19. Even if we get an additional leg lower, I do believe that we'll be back. And I don't mind, like I said, starting to layer into a little bit of positions, which we did last week a little bit. And then we'll see what happens. We could go sideways out of this without dipping lower. And I think that the market would really like that. Maybe we take a little leg lower, but don't quite make this last undercut. So all things are on the table at this stage of the game. So I delete these. I'm going to get out of here, guys. So have a good day. Stay safe out there. And I will see you guys tomorrow and later in the Crypto Power Hour. And actually, crypto's in a good spot. So where are we at right now? 7:56. Be interesting power hour, ladies and gentlemen. Be interesting power hour. All right, guys. Have a good day. I will see you tomorrow.